IoT in general, the Internet of Things, I think technological is quite advanced. I mean, there's a lot of technology there. There's a lot of companies doing cool things. And in the consumer world, it's already there. There's many things that are connected. Obviously, in the industry, when we talk about IoT, things are quite behind for a number of reasons. The first reason is probably the lack of use cases. So it's very good to gather data, but people need to understand what to do with the data. And there's still a lot of work to analyze and do business cases and do calculations and that kind of things. And this is happening, but it's yet to happen. And the second thing that, in my view, is slowing down a little bit the industrial IoT is the security. I mean, factories and manufacturing lines has been always very closed systems, and opening this to internet and either putting data in the cloud or opening interfaces to get some control from outside is obviously scaring. So there's a lot of work to be done on the cybersecurity space to put confidence on the people, on the OT people, so that they can adapt these solutions.
So is that kind of the objection or the concern that you hear most from kind of like senior people? What if our systems are attacked or whatever? Is that a common thing you hear?
Yeah, I heard these two concerns. One is, what is the business behind? What is the business value of this? And even there is a business value, I'm very scared of opening the whole thing to the internet. That can be disaster.
Yeah. And so, if an organisation actually is feeling brave and is going to go down this route of really adopting IoT, how do you recommend they start that journey? Because often getting going is a challenge. Right?
So my recommendation, I always say, is think big, start small. So we are hearing a lot about digitalization. Digitalization is like changing papers for databases and processes. And people, when they hear this, they think about digitalizing the whole factory and putting sensors everywhere and so on. And that can be, first, very expensive, and second, if you lose the focus, then you might have a problem. So my recommendation is find one process or one machine that is, for whatever reason, is not optimized. I mean, a process where there's a lot of information exchange by phone, by email, by paper, whatever. Take that specific process and build a POC around that. Put some sensors, put this data on the cloud, give access to other companies to this data, and start with this specific use case, but do the architecture in such way that you can scale later. But start small. I mean, start with one process, one machine, and then go from one to the other, and then exponentially you will be growing, and one day you will notice that your whole factory is digitalized. But start small. Yeah.
And are there any organizations or sectors or examples that kind of stand out for you of having gone down this route well, and kind of other organizations could learn from? Where are the success stories?
Well, I've learned a lot of success stories. There's obviously a lot of around predictive maintenance where people is saving a lot of money on predictive maintenance. There are cases on the internet from BMW, from Intel, from many big companies. Then I think there are another two cases where we can now see some public news about them, and the supply chain. There's companies who are optimizing their supply chain by doing IoT, and the third one is inventory management. So whatever it comes around predictive maintenance, inventory management, and supply chain, you can find a lot of use cases in many companies, and you can take them as a reference.
And lastly, let's look ahead. Where do you think we might be in 5 years, 10 years? Do you think it'll be mainstream, or it'll still be some kind of legacy stuff that companies are trying to unpick? Where do you think this technology could get to in the future?
Yeah, 10 years is a lot. If you think where we were 10 years or 15 years ago with internet. You were using the modem dials and you just read the newspapers, and today, 10 years after, you're doing absolutely everything through internet. So 10 years is a lot. I think in the industry, in 10 years, we can really be in a connected industry world. I think we can really be in a world where machines are talking between them, plants are talking between them automatically. There's data gathered everywhere and accessed by service provider, by customers, by their own workers. So I think in 10 years, I'm pretty sure that we will be in a connected industry. In 5 years, I think we will be still ramping up.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 years is a lot. I'm sure we will have IoT.